believe that procurement has a lot of progress to make yet in the supply chain, in our companies, in the society in which we operate. And final one, keep your hand up if you believe that technology can be a major enabler in this charge for progress forward.
Good morning. I'm super excited today because I've just arrived at Heathrow. I am heading to the Digital Procurement World DPW conference in Amsterdam. My flight's in like 2.5 hours, so made it with good time despite the horrendous weather. I'm really excited. The theme of this year's DPW is 10x in, effectively 10x in procurement, but it's all around automations and artificial intelligence, mainly generative AI, right? That's kind of the hype right now. And I'm really excited because Gatekeeper do some really incredible things in those areas. They've always been incredible on automation. They're getting even better now at the Gen AI side. I'm just excited to show off the product, talk to people, have cool conversations and see what's going on in the space. So yeah, hopefully it's gonna be a good one. So what can I say about Digital Procurement World? Because it is an unbelievable conference. Seriously, for anyone who's never been, you need to put it on your procurement career bucket list. It's that good. Seriously, I've never been to an event that has this kind of vibe for procurement practitioners. I've been to stuff like Sweet World, and Sweet World was such an incredible event when I went in 2022, and then actually started to go to some procurement events afterwards, and my god, they felt so flat, so deflated, so boring, so dull, so uninspiring. Like no one could possibly want such a dreadful career. DPW completely reverses the narrative there. It makes you feel like you belong in somewhere. And I've always found that really hard in procurement. It's kind of why, in my early years of my career, I really struggled to find like a home like a work home. You get what I mean? Somewhere that I felt like I could be 100% real, 100% me, and still do incredible work in the procurement space. It took a long time to start to find that. And can I just say, if you haven't yet, please make sure you hit the subscribe button. Honestly, it helps so much. It helps get this channel noticed more and more. And if you're still watching at this point, tell me yes or no in the comments if you want to be at DPW next year. I'll see what I can do to help you out. Cheers. It really was clear to me that going to DPW, so many people have kind of found that place. They're super passionate about what they do. They're engaged, they're easy to speak with. Everyone's kind of on this journey to make their operations, their processes, just the way in which they do procurement better. There's never any sort of egotistical talk of procurement needing CPOs or any of that BS. It's all about how can we help our colleagues buy better, and then how can we make sure that the organization is protected better than ever. I really love that sentiment that I've always seen and felt at DPW. Now, I'm not gonna kind of rosy everything up about DPW. It's an incredible opportunity for 120 tech vendors to kind of show off their latest and greatest of their products. And I'll be super honest, I was a little bit underwhelmed by some products that I saw this time around. And I didn't get that feeling last year. But it's kind of clear that this year, everyone has jumped onto this generative AI bandwagon. And there was so much being delivered without substance, without actually a proper use case. Like, why do I want product X when it's likely going to be a feature in a product that I'm already using? And at the same time, like, there's the complete opposite. Like, there's some really cool startups doing stuff that's super fresh, that legacy incumbent providers really struggle to do with their architecture. It's like this really weird mesh of ideas. And when I say old, right, like some of these companies aren't too old, but the architecture can be quite old. So it's just really intriguing to see from a technical perspective the focuses of certain companies in the tech space at the moment, but I did feel that was a little bit too much hype on AI and an AI focus from a lot of the tech vendors. I went to a number of the talks. Talks were pretty awesome. The ones I focused on weren't tech vendor based talks, they were practitioner talks, typically at the CPO level for some of the biggest companies in the world, because I'm really intrigued to understand what they're dealing with, because they've got loads of staff, they've got loads of channels to buy in and buy for, and it sounds like a nightmare if anything isn't quite working. I mean, I know a lot of people that follow my content probably work in a team that's under 10 people, and you know how challenging it is there if you don't have alignment with the rest of your business, your processes aren't quite right. But these people are managing way more than that. So it's always really interesting to hear what they're dealing with, what they're thinking at this point in time. And it's clear that there is a massive focus on process design, getting processes right, nailing that. And at the same time, making sure that we have the right people in the right place within our procurement teams and organizations to deliver on this. And there was much talk that, these skill sets are really hard to get. These digital skill sets are really hard to find in the procurement tech market and just in the procurement market in general at the moment. And this kind of comes back to why I started making videos like this online. I've always really pushed for the last 5 years of making content that you should absolutely prioritize your digital procurement skill set and your digital procurement capability, because if you nail that, if you start getting the exposure you need, you're good at data, you're good at processes, you're good with people, and you know digital, honestly, no one is going to beat you in any interviews if you can nail the interview process as well, right? You're going to look like a unicorn. So I really hope that I can, via my content, help create a number of unicorns out there, because you have such an incredible opportunity to make good money, to have an incredible career, to deliver massive change for these organizations, large and small. We're talking about really small to mid-market, and then these behemoth enterprise size organizations. You have that opportunity. It's really clear that these companies need people like you, hopefully, that are watching this now, the digital people, to come forth and solve these challenges. So for me, this was another incredible DPW conference. I'm hopefully going to be back next year. I mean, even if I'm not there with Gatekeeper as a vendor, I'll be looking to go back as an attendee next year, just to sit in on these talks and just listen to what everyone is pushing, what's on everyone's mind. I just don't think there's any other place in the world for procurement professionals to find out the cutting edge of what's needed to take procurement out of the status quo, the nonsense, the BS, and make it truly incredible. I'll see you real soon, my friends.